はい、こんにちはたぴです。今回は判断力を鍛える練習動画です。特定の場面でどのような判断をすればよいのかをクイズ形式で出題していきます。動画の前に一つお願いです。僕の動画を見てくれている人のほとんどが未登録です。これからも役に立つ動画を上げていくのでぜひチャンネル登録お願いします。あと、Twitter もやっています。タピ YouTube か概要欄のリンクから飛べると思います。フォロワー増やしたいのでぜひフォローしてください。というわけで本編です。どうぞ。
Alright, so first up, we've got an early game scenario from benjyfishy. Okay, so, he's just chilling right now, drinking some, potions in retail, when out of nowhere, he gets beamed in the back. Alright, now he's at 60 health, and he's in a frightening situation. Okay, so based on what you guys can see in his inventory, materials and, so on and so forth, alright, how would you guys play this one out? Would you box up with metal and try to heal at this spot, or would you head into the building first? So, Benji decides to go into the building. It's still really early in the match, and this spot hasn't been looted yet. And these crappy early games, man, every bit of loot matters. But even, if it's plundered already, the decision to head inside does two things for Benji. It makes his position less noticeable than if he were to box up, and it gives him natural cover to work with. So once inside, the RNG gods bless Benji with the green pump and a big pot out of the chest. Exactly what he needs. But noticing his opponents is trying to break through the roof, he immediately establishes piece control and he creates space with bills. Benji is a master, guys, at creating space this way. And in this case, he places enough pieces in between him and his opponent that it buys him enough time to get that big pot off. And now, alright, at full shields, the tables are turned. Benji's the one playing aggressively now, with confidence, and his opponent is on the run. But seeing that they went through this door and to the right, what would you do here? Follow up so you can prevent them from escaping, or play it slow and look for a better angle of approach? Well, good thing Benji didn't run through the door because this guy was holding the right side peak waiting for him. Try not to carelessly run through doors unless turning left. At least that way, you'll have a right-hand peek. So because of that, Benji backs up and holds his own right side angle. His opponent, however, gets very antsy. They run back at Benji, but by that time, he takes the wall, edits the left window, and he pops this dude in the head. Game over. I'm not exactly sure why Benji made this left-hand window edit. It could have been that he was just looking for a quick shot, or maybe he thought the unexpectedness would catch his opponent off guard. Either way, it worked, and Benji recovers from a lousy start to win retail row. Man, tossing out the disrespect too. I mean, this guy definitely got clowned on. But still, what a fantastic recovery by Benji. Gotta give it to him. So we're gonna recap this at the end of the video. In the meantime, let's look at Aiden, and in particular, some reasons why you should be very careful during the mid-game. You ready? Here we go. Okay, so in this match here, like right here, our boy Aiden spent his early game getting into brawls. And with a lot of great unexpected plays, he's leaving Pleasant with a couple of kills in his pocket. Cool. So going into Zone 3, his loadout is looking pretty stacked with nearly full mats, an RPG, oh, gotta love that, a launch pad, goodness, and 6 minis. Yeah, he's ready to go. The only thing he's really lacking is some rifle ammo. But the storm begins to close, and Aiden's not in the safe zone anymore. To save on his own mats, he's going to work his way in using these enemy builds as cover. At that point, he does hear an opponent directly ahead of him, so he crouches to reduce his profile. A quick glance behind, and Aiden also spots an enemy to the north. Alright guys, so here is the big question. Do you leave this player alone and focus on rotating, or do you let some shots off and just see where it takes you? Well, considering how many players are nearby, you definitely don't want to shoot. Yeah, you don't want to do that, buddy. That's going to give away your position, especially to that guy you heard rotating earlier. All the eyes are going to point at you. If Storm Surge was an issue for Aiden, he might have gone for some shots here, but since he has 2 kills already, he's just chilling. Anyway, Aiden heads into the zone, and even though there are like 5 players really close by in every single direction, he safely makes it in and boxes up. Soon after, he hears a player ramp up really close, so he edits and just tries to trap him with the cone. Good idea.
Got heavy snipes.
I don't know if you see it or not, but Aiden actually managed to trap this guy underneath his cone. If he could take the floor, he could drop him down. So, if you were Aiden, knowing everything you know about your loadout, position, and the number of nearby players, would you initiate the action by breaking the floor, or ignore this player and just focus move here is just to ignore him? But Aiden has some other ideas. He's hungry for a frag. So he drops them down and secures the elim, only by a narrow margin though. So now you may be wondering, like, how is that the wrong move? I mean, he's just got the kill, right? Well, remember guys, all the players nearby, they just saw what happened. So now they know Aiden's weak. After the kill, he tries to expand out and create space, but there are just too many attackers. The whole lobby joins in. And even though he got the kill, the overall outcome wasn't good. So, you know, a lot of us will look at that and think, well, there's nothing he could have done. But Aiden saw all those players were next to him, right? With how stacked of a lobby it was, the risk was just way too high. Yeah, I like the word way. Sure, you know, he needed a max refresh and medium ammo, but that was not how to go about it. Aiden didn't know his opponent's health. He took a 50-50 fight, which he barely won, and it was in the middle of several players. So the only way we could see Aiden living here, and I mean like right here, was if he immediately expanded out with metal. Okay guys, always use hard mats when expanding next to others. Cause wood is not like only like way easier to break, but it's also seen by others as a sign that you're running out of mats, buddy. Obviously, no disrespect to Aiden here. He actually did really well this FNCS, but we just thought this clip was a perfect example of why you typically want to exercise caution during the mid game. Okay guys, now let's get into an in-game clip by the man who last weekend proved he's the king of consistency, Jordan from the X2 Twins.
They should write a documentary on how consistent I am.
Okay, so let's start off with the quick clip first. Jordan's loadout here is looking pretty spicy except for the fact that he doesn't have a launch pad. However, there's a supply drop falling nearby. In fact, he's the closest one to it. Okay, so in this scenario, with an opponent in front of you spraying their minigun, what would you do? Go for the supply drop or play it safe instead and just tunnel to the next zone? Well, there's some risk involved pushing for this drop because of that play with the minigun. They totally could decide to focus you, but in this case, the reward is just too precious. Remember, supply drops guarantee a launch pad since they're the only trap item in the game right now. Pads are crucial for surviving in-game zones. Jordan gets this one, and while he doesn't need it immediately, he saves it for when he does. All right, let's move into the next clip. We got Jordan in another in-game with the zone at max distance and the storm about to move. With his loadout being a little scuffed, this is definitely a launch pad play. Here we go. Okay, so the path you take after padding can play a massive role in whether you get lasered out of the air or not. So in this case, which direction do you think Jordan should go? Straight down to the center or to the right past the bills and close? Down the center is a death sentence since you're putting yourself in clear view of the guys to your left and the guys to your right. It's a wrap. So if you can, it's generally better, guys, to just hug to a side in order to reduce the number of players that can shoot at you. It may seem minor, but it can be the difference between surviving and yelling about all the controller players. Anyways, Jordan lands on the roof, and since he's got a bit of time, you know, he could just look back for picks. But eventually, he's got to move. You don't want to be too slow on your rotates. And when he does rotate, he utilizes these efficient tunnels all the time. Especially this two-piece diagonal tunnel. Yes, it's riskier than building a full tunnel, I get it. Still, it does use significantly fewer mats, which can allow you guys to focus on getting in without having to go for reckless impact frags. And any opportunity Jordan has to use his opponent's builds, he's gonna take it. So he conserves materials so well, which is part of the reason why we think he was so consistent last weekend.
Consistent.
But now that he's running out of mats, he needs an impact frag. How do you guys think he should find one? Use the heavy sniper to break into someone's box, or slide into the storm and see if you can sneak a kill on someone. So going into the storm would be way too risky considering Jordan has no floppers. But this is 100% the reason you carry a heavy sniper in the endgame. Jordan's going to pick a boxed up target, pull the sniper out at the last second, and force his way right in. The surprise factor almost always gives you the upper hand, guys, and in this case, it works. But unfortunately, the two players here barely had mats, so while he does gain a few more points off of that play, he ultimately runs dry and just dies after whiffing a pump shot. Obviously, that endgame could have been better, but he still has a ton of points. And nearly all of Jordan's games were at that level of consistency. He just didn't, get a single victory royale, but managed to win the whole FNCS, mainly due to these consistent endgame strategies.
Who wins FNCS? Solos for OCE. Please tell me this is updated. Is it updated? I don't want to show unless it's not updated. Yeah! Is it updated? It's updated! Woo!
はい、というわけでいかがでしたでしょうか。皆さんは何問正解できましたか？ぜひコメント欄で教えてくださいね。動画を作るのにたくさんの時間をかけているのでよかったら高評価してね。というわけで、また次回の動画で会いましょう。さよなら。